Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to W.M.S.T podcast episode number 65. I am your host Syed. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the audio links. And here are your guests for tonight. We've got editor-in-chief Ziggler. What up, Ziggler?
What's up, man? Our crew are just fucking slacking, man.
Just slacking. We're just picking up the slack here.
Yeah.
Yep. And as always, we got the Black Orange Cassidy, although I think he wants a new nickname, Cam.
I'm thinking about it for a minute, but anyway. It's almost been a month since all this started.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This has been the longest month in history.
Yeah.
It isn't war related.
Yeah, due to quarantine, a lot of days just kind of feel like blending in together. It's like if you sleep on a Sunday night, you think it's like still Sunday, even though you wake up on Monday. It's weird.
The only way that I'm keeping up with all the days is the phone calendar. The calendar on your phone that says Friday the 10th.
Oh yeah, that is true. All right, boys. So we had a pretty big weekend last week with WrestleMania 36. Not one night, but 2 nights of WrestleMania. So we're just gonna review WrestleMania for this part. We're gonna talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and just our overall thoughts on the event. So first of all, my general thoughts on WrestleMania 36. I enjoyed it. I appreciated that there was a WrestleMania this year because there was a chance that WrestleMania maybe would have been canceled or postponed, but I'm glad that WrestleMania happened the day it was supposed to happen, and we got 2 nights of it because you don't know what's going to go on with the pandemic and all that, and the storylines are going to get they can't stretch out the storylines after WrestleMania, like beyond that date, it's gonna get very boring. So I think even though apparently Vince McMahon was the only one who wanted WrestleMania to go on, I think that was the correct decision. That's the one thing I agree with Vince on. Like that was a good decision to just go on with WrestleMania. And this gave them a chance to improvise with obviously there being no crowd. They had to improvise a lot of matches because some of the matches didn't work with the empty crowd, empty arena, so obviously they had to improvise, and I think they did a lot of great things this year. Night one was overall a really fun night. I don't know what others' opinion on this is, but maybe I enjoyed night two slightly a bit more. I think night one kind of started off slow with the women's tag match. And I think the first 2 or 3 matchups were kind of boring. The tag team matchup, I say tag team, like quote unquote tag team championship match with Morrison Morrison, Jey Uso, and Kofi. I don't know if it was Jey or Jimmy. Like we were talking about this when we were watching it together. I don't know who was in that match. It was Jimmy or Jey. I'm not sure.
It was Jey, goddammit.
Yeah, it was Jey. I agree with you. I think it was Jey. So yeah. I mean, this
says Jimmy.
I mean,
what are you, a racist now, Cam?
God damn it!
No, look
Cam.
at the Wikipedia page.
Oh, the Wikipedia says.
Oh yeah, because Wikipedia is always right. Freaking racist. It's Jey.
All right, it's Jey, but that was like really odd to see. Only
really is Jimmy.
It will basically be a triple threat match for the tag team titles. Like, I know Vince hates tag team wrestling, or he's like kind of hot or cold on it sometimes. Like he mostly cold, he doesn't really get tag team wrestling. But this is just ridiculous. 3 singles, like basically 3 singles competitors, triple threat match for tag team titles. That makes absolutely no sense. It's just like a mockery of the tag team division. But anyways, the triple threat match. It was a ladder match, and it was a fun ladder match. We saw some really cool spots, people going through ladders, uh, and then the end spot with the tug of war with the titles, and Morrison coming down with them. That was a pretty good ending, pretty good match. Just didn't make any sense. Um, what else did we have on night one? Before I
Becky
get
and Shayna.
Becky and Shayna was on night one, unfortunately, and it was one of the most underwhelming, disappointing matches of the whole weekend. Like, I mean, I don't even know if it would have been better if Shayna won. Maybe it would have been better because you build a new star and you get Becky to chase the title because Becky's reign was kind of getting boring. But they decided to stick with Becky, and I don't know how it's gonna work now. Like, I think Shayna should have won the title. I'm not the biggest Shayna Baszler fan. I think she's pretty good in the ring. Haven't really enjoyed a lot of her matches, but I think she's good. She has potential. If I was making the call, I would have had Becky lose just so she can go back on the chase. I think she would have garnered more sympathy from the fans if she was back, chasing the title rather be the one that's being chased. But yeah, that was pretty disappointing. And then obviously got to talk about the Boneyard match. That was freaking epic. Like, obviously there's some similarities, like a lot of similarities with the Ultimate Deletion matches, because Jeremy Borash is the one who produced the match. He's the one who also produced the matches for Matt Hardy for the Ultimate Deletion in TNA. So it was cool seeing AJ wrestle Undertaker in a kind of like the cinematic pro wrestling match. You had some really cool spots. AJ coming out in the coffin, that was pretty cool. I saw a lot of the gifs. That was pretty cool. Uh, and then they had this brawl, and then Taker smashed his elbow on the limo glass. That was, it looked like he got hurt for real. Like, it looked like his elbow just became like a freaking baseball. And then yeah, AJ was getting thrown around, and then AJ made a comeback after the Druids. I'm gonna wonder who. I'm gonna be interested in seeing who the wrestlers were under the Druids. And then AJ made a comeback. AJ was about to bury the Undertaker, and then boom, Undertaker just used this teleportation superpower because apparently I think he had like 3 finishers stored up. I guess he used that ability and turned the match in his favor. It was some really cool spots with them being on the rooftop. Uh, Luke Gallows being thrown off the roof. Carl Anderson being tombstoned on the roof. AJ being thrown off into the wood. And then finally, it was pretty cool how they had that dialogue. They were like, AJ was like, "Please don't bury me," and then Undertaker was like hugging me. "Nah, I'm not gonna bury you." He turns around and then turns back around. Bam, big boot, and then he ends up burying AJ. I like the visual at the end with the hand, like AJ's
Fake
hand,
hand.
fake hand. It was kind of corny, but it was actually kind of funny, to be honest. Amazing match, great ending to night one. I think that match pretty much saved night one, to be honest. It was a uh, great choice to have that match be the ending to night one. Also, we had Goldberg losing to Braun Strowman. Obviously, it was not really that good of a match. Bunch of finishers. Braun wins. Pretty cool, I guess. Moving on to night two. Night two, I think, was a bit better. Result wise, I don't know what the feeling is on night two for a lot of people. I guess maybe I enjoyed night two just a little bit more, maybe. Uh, yeah. What did we have on night two? Obviously, we had finally Drew winning the title. I was happy to see that result. Not the best match, but you know, Brock apparently was throwing a hissy fit because he didn't want to lose the match. He had to be convinced to lose the match. He had a confrontation with Vince. So it was like that's the best you can get out of Brock at this point. I kind of hope he just lets his contract run out because I think we all can use a break from Brock Lesnar at this point. Brock and Goldberg, to be honest, let their contracts run out. I think Goldberg's contract has ended, so don't bring them back
Can we
for a
just
long
not
time.
bring back the past people? Like, I
I know,
know ratings and money, but can you build people?
I know. Like I feel like Braun and Drew and Bray are like great building blocks. So we got Kevin Owens, we got Seth Rollins, we got Roman Reigns. Like you got plenty of people that can carry the brand and eventually get to the point where they are big names. Like I feel like you're stunting the growth of your roster by bringing these old heads back. So
And I don't
hopefully,
mind Lesnar. He can do great things when he's given the opportunity and when he wants to do them. But just use your talent. Besides, the older
yeah,
people aren't going to be there forever.
yeah. But the big problem with Lesnar is he's so lazy. Like if things don't go his way, he's not gonna perform the way you want him to. Sometimes if he likes the opponent, he'll wrestle a good match, but sometimes a lot of times you're not gonna get a good performance out of him unless he's really into the matchup, which is unfortunate, even though it was WrestleMania. But hey, Drew won. That's all I care about. It was a great ending to night two. The obviously the one match we have to talk about from night two is of course uh, the Firefly Funhouse match between Bray and John Cena. That was a great match, really amazing. I think it was just as good as the Boneyard, maybe a little bit better. I
Some are
can't really.
saying that it isn't a match for some reason when it's literally has a result and when there's literally a result and they used a ring.
Yeah,
Even if it was an acid trip, it's
yeah, it
still
was
a match.
yeah, it was pretty much it's one of those matches you got to take a hit with the boys and then just watch it. That's the kind of match it was. It called back to a lot of John Cena's biggest fears as a wrestler. Making a bad debut, uh, being uh, like, yeah, making a bad debut. What else there was? The crowd turning on him, him finally turning heel, and there was a big callback to his match against Bray at WrestleMania 30, where he didn't pull the trigger and hit him with a chair, and then Bray wins. Uh, I think this was pretty much the last appearance we'll see from John Cena for a really long time. I think it was a good run for him. I think this was a pretty fitting ending for him. But yeah, very unique way to go around the no crowd thing. I think if there was a crowd, they would have done in-ring stuff, but they didn't have to, and I'm glad they didn't. And this was the perfect match to do that. And I can't wait to see more Firefly Funhouse match. I think this kind of matchup is kind of like a mental match rather than like a in-ring match. Like if somebody came into the Firefly Funhouse, they would have to face their greatest fears. I think that's like a cool concept going forward.
Like,
Any
it
matches?
takes its cues out of horror movies in a way.
Right. I like that. It's a fun thing to have. It's a good variation. Any other matches I'm missing for night two?
Rhea and Charlotte.
Uh, yeah, I liked the match. It wasn't a bad match. Uh, I like the
As long as
in-ring
they can tone down the
psychology.
screaming.
Yeah, that was awkward. I gotta be honest, that was awkward. Way too much screaming. The screaming would be drowned out if there was a crowd there, but since it was an empty arena, it sounded like she was giving birth. A lot of comments said that's kind of what it sounded like, to be honest. Uh, Charlotte wins. I don't know what's going on with Rhea. Some say her work permit is over, or something like that. That's why she lost the match, and they want Flair on NXT anyways to kind of pull the double duty. I don't know about this one, boys.
If you're
If
gonna
the
if you're gonna have her win the title, have her keep it on NXT. Well, Io Shirai won at what was supposed to be that takeover ladder match. That might happen
right,
in the future.
right, they could have definitely just kept the title in NXT if that was the case, and have Rhea win a big match before dealing with her visa thing. But I don't know what's going on with that. Obviously,
And another thing, if you're going to have Charlotte win the title, at least have her build a division, have a decent reign with it, rather than just give it to Io Shirai right away. Because she can't hold on to a title to save her life for some reason.
yeah, because they want Charlotte to win the women's title like 16 times. Uh, 16 plus times. Like they want her to have short reign so she can win the title more, which is ridiculous. Like let her reign have some sort of story.
Like,
Like
don't
let her
pad
go through
stats. Actually,
challengers.
have them be memorable.
I know. Like
Like
I can't remember.
I'm not like go on.
I'm sorry. I was saying like I can't remember a Charlotte match for the title that I enjoyed like a match where she was defending the title is what I'm saying.
34 with Asuka.
Wait, she was defending the title? Oh yeah, she was
She
defending.
defended and retained that.
Oh yeah, that was not a good match to be honest. I was
Like
disappointed to
it
see
was a
Charlotte lose.
great match quality wise, but the endings got it.
Yeah. Let's not talk about WrestleMania 34. Oh man, that was a disappointing WrestleMania. Anyways, but yeah, don't know what's going on with that. Rhea should have won. It's a theme. If when a wrestler with high potential loses their first WrestleMania match, usually that's an indication for them to be not have a good run on the main roster. But you
Then
know what?
again, some
Hopefully
people
this is not the case with
lose their
Rhea.
first mania
Yeah,
and they end up having more manias and they get successful.
right. That is
Just
true.
give it
So
time. She's still young.
yeah, hopefully that's the case with the Shayna and Rhea. And oh yeah, so the two NXT women that were on WrestleMania lost their matches. Go figure. Uh,
They're probably still gonna do the whole Shayna stuff, but that isn't until they do tapings and if this quarantine thing actually dies down, they're gonna still go with. They're gonna still do things with it.
right. Yeah,
With
that's true.
Rhea, I don't know. They're gonna try and move it to Io Shirai. Whatever she does, whatever Rhea does next, who knows?
Right. We'll see.
But don't pull the bury a friend card just yet.
Yeah. All right. And quickly before I give my final ratings for WrestleMania, I just want to quickly glance over Edge versus Randy Orton last man standing match. There was obviously it was kind of like a long match, like it was way too long. Probably like a good 20 minutes of that match
It was
could have been cut.
36 minutes. Wikipedia says.
Yeah, probably like a good 20 to 15 minutes of that match could have been cut and it wouldn't have mattered. Honestly, the ending was really good. Good callback to the concerto. And yeah, Edge wins his comeback match. Everybody should go check out the Edge 24 or whatever that documentary is called. I saw it before WrestleMania. It was really awesome. Very emotional too. But yeah, I'm really happy to see Edge back. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Edge wrestle some other young guys on the roster. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, as for my total ratings for WrestleMania, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Uh, I mean, I'm just happy we got a WrestleMania, and I'm thankful to Vince for giving us a WrestleMania. And obviously, not every match was perfect. Some of them were boring, but there was a lot of matches that innovated, that were fun, exciting, and got people talking. So yeah, it was a fun WrestleMania overall. Great in spades, not all the time, but um, like considering the times we're going through right now, it's appreciated whenever we can get entertainment like this. So Yeah, I thought this was a great WrestleMania, so I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. All right, Ziggler, your thoughts on WrestleMania?
Yeah. I mean, I thought the show was all right, but all things considered, since this whole pandemic thing, it's probably they put on a decent show. Uh, Even without the audience, without the big stage, the entrances. Um, yeah, it was fun. I liked night one better than night two. I don't know why. Just night two wasn't there for me. Uh, the Rhea Charlotte match, I think that kicked off night two, and it was fine. Like you guys said, a lot of screaming, and yeah, it was just it was a fine match. Not too hot on Charlotte winning. I wanted Rhea to win, but you know, that's whatever. Hopefully she will get. But since Wednesday we're gonna get Io versus Charlotte, so that's gonna be fucking great. So I can't wait for that. Would have been cool to see Io versus Rhea too. They would have been good, but now hopefully Rhea gets a rematch. Maybe Io wins it off Charlotte, and then Io and Rhea go take over take over SummerSlam before SummerSlam. Uh, but yeah, and the Edge versus Orton match. I mean, it was fine. I didn't really mind it. Had some cool spots. The ending was good. And then yeah, night one was good. The main event, the Boneyard match, was funny as hell. I was laughing the whole time. I'm not a big fan of these cinematic wrestling match, and because I just think they're really cheesy like this one. So yeah, I wasn't too hot on this one. And then the main event for night two was Lesnar McIntyre. It was just another 5 minute match, um, full of finishers, which I'm not a fan of. I mean, Drew McIntyre winning, yeah, sure. Not really that much of a fan of McIntyre anyway. I think they could have done more on his road to WrestleMania, but they obviously couldn't because of the pandemic. But yeah, I don't know. The match wasn't there for me
You
because it was
you
five
were kind of
minutes
getting
full of
into
finishers.
yeah, you were kind of getting into McIntyre with the crowd reaction and everything. You were kind of getting into him.
Yeah, I was, but then like I don't know, they didn't do anything like after that. They just started doing squash matches after that, and some of his Lesnar segments were good, like the one where he claymored him like 5 times on the ramp. Uh, but yeah, I'm happy he is champion, but it really does. Again, it sucks that people like Edge, Rhea, freaking McIntyre, their first manias are in front of no one in a gym. That's what sucks about that. But again, it was a fine show. Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't the best, of course, because of the circumstances, but I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. I I don't know. Night two, I just wasn't really enjoying night two. I enjoyed night one better.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. Although they were both kind of same on the enjoyment level. Yeah. Wait, what was your rating again?
6.5.
Ooh. I'm not saying anything, but that's kind of harsh, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't the night two really like turned it down.
Right, that's true.
I don't know. I wasn't. Even though it was fun to watch the Boneyard match with you guys,
Yeah,
it's just really cheesy. And then the Firefly Funhouse, I didn't really like that either.
yeah,
I just don't like cinematic matches really.
yeah. I mean, I can agree with you on that. Like, it was a bit unconventional. Like, it wasn't like a mania, so it was like, it was kind of like a wild card. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't know what you were gonna get.
But
Also,
all things
Gronk,
Like, what
considered,
what
though,
you
they did a
have.
good job.
yeah. Also, Gronk won a championship at WrestleMania.
That's not a championship, but it's whatever.
Yeah, his
The
fourth
less said
championship.
about it, the better. Oh
Three
wait,
Super
he's
Bowl
still
rings.
champion. Nobody pinned him yet.
True. All right, and Cam, your thoughts on WrestleMania?
I was thinking for several weeks leading up to it that they should just scrap it, but I'm kind of glad that they got it out of the way as quickly as they could. But it's a welcoming experience for it was a welcoming experience for them to split it into 2 nights. I hope that they keep it up and try to experiment with whatever scheduling that they do in the future. It's a shame that the pandemic had to stick a fork in most of the plans because a lot of the stuff that they would have done would have been a lot better, but you have to work with what you have. I preferred night 2. I preferred the Boneyard match out of the 2 cinematic matches. I think the first night was the shortest, with it just being 3 hours, and it flew by. Even if some of the matches just felt like Raw matches, some were okay, some were fine. Like I liked the 2 women's matches from the first night. The 2 world title matches could have been better, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? To be honest, Boneyard was the better of the 2. Was basically the match of the entire weekend. What else? The Funhouse match was basically, I kept saying, was an acid trip, but I do like the theming of it with it preying on your worst fears. I think I saw a tweet that said it was basically what Cena's dream on Nightmare on Elm Street would be. But other than that, for what they did, it wasn't bad, but it could have been better. But let's just be grateful for the fact that we actually managed to get a Mania this year and they actually tried to push along. My final rating would be 6 to a light 7.
Yeah, sounds good, man. But yeah,
I also
overall,
wanted to bring
yeah.
this up after Mania. With them finishing off WrestleMania, do you think that they should take a break?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. They should definitely take some kind of break. Obviously, with the pandemic, a lot of wrestlers, they have a choice if they want to come to the tapings. Some of them will come to the taping, but I feel like I was telling this to Ziggler and you before we started the podcast. Like maybe they should play some archives, like you said, or maybe some like old episodes of Raw. Like I would like them to play the April 8th, 2013 episode of the night after WrestleMania 29 Raw or night after WrestleMania 30 Raw, like some classic episode of Raw. Uh, like that would be pretty cool. I would even sit down and watch if they did that. To be honest, give these wrestlers a break. Write, actually sit down and write storylines for SummerSlam, and maybe have a Money in the Bank ladder match, maybe 2 ladder matches for SummerSlam, and make it a stacked card for Boston WrestleMania. So I agree with you on that. They should take some kind of break and just come back refreshed. Absence makes the heart go fonder. And if WWE takes a break and all of us kind of start missing, like the action a bit. We start, we miss like our favorite wrestlers and stuff like that. And when they come back, it becomes a bigger deal. Like the night they come back on Raw with the crowd and everything, back to normal, it'll be like a huge ratings grab, and then they'll have that momentum going into SummerSlam. So yeah, I agree with you on that. They should take some kind of break. And your thoughts, Cam? What do you think about that?
I want them to take a break. Like, take a
Yeah.
breather. Most of us aren't missing anything, but there's somehow, with SmackDown that just happened tonight, they're somehow building to Money in the Bank now. Like, they're preparing 2 qualifying matches for next week. And they're going to plan on doing mass tapings for the next few weeks until they get to MITV. NXT might do some tapings as well, but it's I hope that they try to just take a breather because they got to WrestleMania by the skin of their teeth and they managed to pull it off. We're not missing much, but with most of the finishes that they do, that they did for Mania, they're going to be planning it out for the future. If they run out of ideas or tapings, I hope that they do like show archive stuff, like match stipulations or a wrestler's best matches or a retrospective on a certain wrestler or just network exclusive stuff. But they're gonna push along and try and do more tapings at PC.
Yeah, and Ziggler, what do you think about them potentially taking a break?
Yeah, I want both WWE and AEW to take a break, just for the safety of the wrestlers and the crew,
I
because
forgot about AEW as well. They're still doing taped stuff, but you're not missing anything other than them just doing a TV title tournament.
yeah, I just think you need to just save the TV title tournament till a few months, just take a break overall. And yes, it's gonna suck because besides wrestling, we have literally nothing. So yeah, it's gonna suck, but I think it's for the best for the safety of everyone because this shit is serious and there's a lot of people not taking it seriously.
They
I
postponed their
mean,
War Games match just because of the pandemic.
yeah, I
And I
mean the
think Double or
UFC.
Nothing is scrapped now.
I mean the UFC just delayed and just stopped. They're taking a break now because ESPN and Disney told them you gotta shut this shit down because we have to just think about the safety of the fighters and everyone. So I just think they need to do the same thing. Somebody high up got to tell WWE and AEW just to shut it down.
I think Florida has like a whole stay at home thing, right?
What?
I think I read that Florida has like a whole stay at home thing for lockdown.
Well, yeah. I think Florida is locked down, the state lockdown.
Yeah,
I want
that.
to say, but some counties are different though.
Like depending on what county the PC is and where some of the wrestlers live, and depending on if WWE wants to be a quote essential service, they might just do more tapings.
Yeah, I really don't want them to do any tapings.
Like just sit down for once.
I mean, even if they do tapings, Raw and SmackDown just isn't good anyways. Like the product isn't good with just in the PC with no audience.
NXT is doing the same thing at Full Sail. Nothing.
Yeah.
They just did a whole Gargano and Ciampa match with the cinematic stuff, and it went for long.
AEW is not even the same too. It's weird watching AEW now.
Yeah.
Like what
Although
venue
they're
is it?
kind of that's a secret location apparently, but it's in Georgia. We know that.
Like it has
Uh,
grass.
Isn't
yeah,
it the Hardy compound?
it
Yeah,
might
that's
be,
what I
but
was reading too.
which is I think in North Carolina. I think I don't know. I heard that some like state officials showed up at the tapings and they were like, "Whoa, you guys can't be wrestling here, buddy. There's a curfew or something like that." They were like, "Don't worry, we're following the CDC guidelines. We're good." And the state officials apparently stayed through the entire taping watching if AEW was following the state orders, which is so bizarre and weird. Like imagine some Florida, Orlando, uh what county is NXT in? Somewhere in Orlando.
I have no idea I don't live there. That's like 4 hours away from me, so I
Yeah,
have no
imagine
idea.
that
No
county's
one knows, to
official
be honest.
shows up and they're like, "Hey Vince, you can't be having these people wrestle here." And they're like, "No, it's fine. We're following guidelines. It's all cool." That would be weird,
We're
man.
following
But
guidelines. We're testing the guys and girls.
yeah,
But
but there is a thing called asymptomatic too, so I mean, it's hard to tell with everything that's going on. But yeah, you're right. Although AEW has been a little bit better in terms because they have like wrestlers standing at ringside 6 feet apart. Like it kind of gives an illusion of a crowd, like a very
It has the whole heel face spectrum. Like WWE should do that.
yeah, like they should steal that idea low key. Like it's not even like that original of an idea. Like it's basically a bingo hall show, a bingo hall wrestling show. But yeah, what do you guys think about AEW finally getting a mid card title, the TNT Championship, which is I think is a very cool name for a championship. I'm I'm surprised WCW didn't think of that name for a championship, the TNT Championship, which I think is gonna be like a mid card title slash like a TV title, like the kind of title that's gonna be defended on TV every week. I like that concept. Kind of gives something to look forward to, like a title match every week, and I think they can build something cool around that title, like some kind of like open challenge or tournament every 3 to 4 months for it. I think it can be a good idea. What do you guys think, Cam?
I do. I've been saying that they should get a TV title for months and TV title or mid card title for months, and I'm glad that they decided to do it. And I'm saying that now would have been the time, but it does give the fans at least something to latch on to during the pandemic. But they really should like save it until like your next big event, like when everything turns to normal. But I am glad that they're doing this. Who do I want to see as champion? Wait, don't we have a bracket?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm just trying to find the bracket.
Yeah, the Cody versus Sean Spears, that was the first match. Then the other match was I think it's Darb. No, sorry, it's I think it's actually I don't know the rest of the tournament. I think yeah, Lance Archer is in it.
I found it.
Darby's
Sammy
in it.
Guevara, Darby Allin, Kip Sabian, Dustin Rhodes, Lance Archer, Cole Cabana.
Colt Cabana, right? Yeah, some interesting matchups. Should be fun.
These are going to be a double or nothing.
Yeah, and yeah, next week empty arena match between Hager and Moxley. That should be fun too.
Like, I'm glad that they're going to try and take advantage of the whole. The arenas are going to be very empty thing.
Right, that is true.
I think the empty arena that they had before would work for it. I think they probably taped it there weeks in advance. The one with the bigger stage versus the tiny place that they've been filling in lately.
Yeah, true. And Ziggler, your thoughts on the TNT Championship?
Yeah, I didn't watch AEW this past weekend, so I know Cody beat Sean Spears, but other than that, the tournament, the bracket looks good. Yeah, I'm still wanting Darby Allin to win. Since Cody's in it, he has a good chance of winning, but I do want Darby Allin to win. Is Darby Allin and Cody on the same side?
I think they might be
Yes,
meeting in
same
the
side.
final, or then the same side. Okay.
Alright, so I'll probably semifinals for that.
Yeah.
And oh wait, Lance Archer's in it too, so fuck, he might win.
Yeah, I think he's a good bet to win because he just debuted,
Yeah,
and then Darby's probably gonna feud with him.
I can't see Lance Archer losing because so yeah,
Yep.
he could win the title.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, those are my thoughts. I really don't have a lot of thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.